We're back with the Fox News alert. Joe Biden offering verbal support for Israel, while critics call out the administration's appeasement of Israel's enemies.
Our next guest agrees and says the U.S. has been too distracted by the Russia-Ukraine war.
Independent Women's Forum senior fellow Dr. Qanta Ahmed has previously spent time at the Gaza border with Israel Defense Forces, and she joins us now with her insights. Good morning to you, Dr. Ahmed.
Good morning.
As you look at the news over the past 36 hours, what is your top-line thought?
First of all, Israel and all those people like us that are invested in peace in the region, pluralist Muslims, are under siege by terrorist organizations. Hamas and Hezbollah. Hamas has launched this assault with Palestinian Islamic Jihad, which is also a terrorist group. They want to reignite what we've just lived through, the global war on terror, radical Islam against the world, radical Islam dividing the Muslim world, the war in which you served. And so that's the first message. The second message is this is an attempt to scupper the Israel-Palestinian deal that Jared Kushner envisioned and the Saudi Arabian-Israel détente that the Abraham Accords presents. This is multi-pronged.
You know, we were, both of us, on the South Lawn on September 15th, I believe it was, of 2020, in that historic moment, first time since 1994. You saw a peace accord, UAE was there, Bahrain, of course, the United States. That was under President Trump. That was September of 2020. You fast forward, here we are, September of 2023. We don't have a peace accord right now. We have a really unprecedented attack on Israel. Is that any accident, or is it a change in leadership?
I think that Hamas, which is working as a proxy for Iran, was looking for a golden opportunity. I think it has to be tied with the extraordinary dialogue we saw Brett Baier having with Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, who indicated to the world that we were very close to having an agreement. And I think also there were events during the Jewish holiday of Sukkot at Al-Aqsa compound, which inflamed a lot of sentiments. But that is just an excuse for a very carefully planned assault on the Jewish state's sovereignty and an assault on the region. This may not be like any conflict we've ever seen. It's going to be very difficult to contain this to Hamas, Gaza and Israel. It can spill out across the region. And this should not be seen really as anything other than an unveiled direct conflict of Iran with Israel. That's why Saudi Arabia, UAE, Egypt, Jordan are all working on the telephones to try and contain this before it becomes uncontainable.
Do you think Iran wants it contained? I mean, Iran wants it to spill out. And what would it look like if Iran actually had a nuclear device? I mean,
well,
what's their ultimate... remind our viewers what Iran's ultimate goal is here as it pertains to Israel.
They've said it explicitly. Their own supreme leaders say explicitly the eradication, the elimination of the Jewish state, the war that Hamas and Hezbollah, that is shortly, I think, poised to attack at Israel's northern border. Their war is a cosmic, fanatical enmity with global Jewry. Every Jewish person on the planet is an enemy in their Islamist ideology. That is an ideology Saudi Arabia has spent decades eliminating. I've just traveled to Saudi Arabia very recently, a couple of times. They have eliminated anti-Semitism and anti-Zionism from their curricula. The whole reason the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman is making peace dialogue with Israel is because Saudi Arabia has eschewed that ideology. That's the past. That is not the future of Saudi Arabia. Iran wants to reignite that. And Iran does want this to spill beyond. Iran has essentially Lebanonized, colonized Syria. Lebanon is captive to Hezbollah, which is a terrorist, very, very ferocious, battle-hardened military. Iran has IRGC missile bases that operate out of Iraq without impunity. Iraq is under the yoke of Iran. And we have Yemen, which is equivalent to Saudi Arabia's Afghanistan, a terrible humanitarian catastrophe, an entrenched conflict, which is in a fragile state that could also be a place from where to launch operations. While you were in the White House, we saw Saudi Aramco in 2019 attacked by Iranian drones. And that is an assault not only on Saudi Arabia, but the world's oil markets. Oil futures are already rising for tomorrow morning. So this is colossal. And on the background of Russia and Ukraine, the United States has been incredibly depleted by the war in Russia and Ukraine, with soldiers, armaments, psychological energy. There's been tremendous suffering on the Ukrainians. There's people dying on the Russian side. The world is drained by that conflict. Now we're looking at something that could be much, much bigger.
And just the precedent the Trump administration set, the first foreign trip was to Saudi Arabia, indicating this region matters to us.
And that's why I think we shouldn't lose hope, because we have an 80-year relationship with Saudi Arabia. Jared Kushner and President Trump had the vision of economic investment and stability for the Palestinian people to the tune of $50 billion. That's in the Peace to Prosperity report, which is as big as a telephone directory that you can all read. That was the vision in order to prevent this. Iran doesn't give any other vision except annihilation and conflict that is uncontainable.
Dr. Qanta Ahmed, thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you.
Great stuff. Thank you, Doctor.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.